Good morning. Wednesday, yes, Wednesday, May 6th. So as I'm sure you guys know by now, week's gonna get really hot. It's gonna be in the hundreds, close to 110 through Saturday. So be very, very smart with your workouts. Make sure you're hydrating before, during, and after. Make sure you're working out early in the morning. If you have to, alter the workout. Increase the rest time between rounds and sets. Reduce the amount of time. If I'm asking you to do 20 minutes, do 10 or 15. If I'm asking you to do 5 sets, maybe do 3 sets. If I'm asking you to do 20 reps, do 10 reps, whatever it is. Like, we don't have to go hard all the time, right? We can back it off a little bit. Remember, it's the consistency over time that's going to give you those results. So we're talking time being years, right? Not months, definitely not weeks, but in the course of years. So if we have to back off, if we have to back off a little bit, no big deal. Kind of ease up a little bit, be smart, especially when it's really hot out, and then we can push when we've acclimated to the heat, or when it cools off, and when it cools off, and then it's just much safer all the way around. So be smart, get something in, a little something, and you're gonna do right by yourself. So today, all legs, all squatting today. We're gonna have 2 parts. We're gonna have a strength part, and then we're gonna have a conditioning part. So the strength part, this will be the opportunity to work on, if you have a number of objects that are increasing in weight when we do these lateral lunges or cossacks and squats, this would be the time to use, if you've got a series of rocks that increase in weight, this would be the time to do that. So starting in that first set with something on the lighter side, and then finishing with something heavier when you get to the end. If you just have one object, just work with that one object. It's no big deal. Again, it's just the consistency and the quality of the work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 5 rounds. We're going to do 3 pause lateral lunges or cossacks to the left, 3 to the right, and then we're gonna do 5 pause squats. If you're using weight, you're gonna find that when you do the lateral lunge or the cossacks, you're gonna be using less weight than when you do the squat itself, just a regular squat. Again, if you only have one weight, maybe go empty on the lateral lunges or the cossacks and use the weight for the squats, or just do them both empty. Again, getting in that good work, that good range of motion. So what each round will look like is I'll demonstrate the lateral lunge and then the cossack. So I'll have whatever object I have, just to add a little bit of resistance. And I'm gonna set up in a nice wide stance right here. And first we'll demonstrate the lateral lunge. I'm gonna keep this foot flat on the ground, and I'm just gonna sit down onto this leg, similar to performing that squat, all right? And I would do 3 repetitions to that side, and then 3 repetitions to the other side. If I wanna work on my range of motion some, I can do that cossack, and so I'm gonna turn up on this heel. In this case, my right heel, I'm gonna turn up on it, and it's going to allow me to sink, much deeper into the bottom of that cossack squat. All right, I'll do one more. All right. Now, and then I've done my 3 on the left, and then I would go ahead and I would do 3 on the right of whichever variation you're going to work with. Over the course of the 5 rounds, most likely you're going to feel your range of motion improve. So if nothing else, if you just feel that, beautiful, fantastic. Then once you've done 3 on each side, then you're going to pick up the heavier weight, again, if you have it, if you want to. And we're going to do 5 pause squats. So you're going to clutch it to your chest. You're going to hold those elbows up so that we're not tipping forward. We want to make sure that we stay as tall as we can. We're going to get down to our bottom. Pause in the bottom. There you go. You're going to rest for a minute in between each set, or in between each round, whichever you want to think about it. So again, 3 lateral lunges or 3 cossacks with the left, 3 of the laterals or the cossacks with the right, and then 5 pause squats. Just 5 pause squats. Everything for pause. Now, if we're still working on that technique, right, we're going to use a stool for that lateral lunge and for the squat. So if I set up here on that lateral lunge, I want to get my left butt cheek on it, on the stool, my right completely off. I want to make sure that my heel is pulled in nice and tight so it's flush up against the stool right here. I want to hinge forward just a little bit. I want to make sure that my knee and my toe are more or less lined up. Hinge forward that little bit, knee out, and stand. Then sitting into this hip crease as I drop down and stand. All right. Show you from the side here. So here I'm not perfectly upright. I want to make sure that I hinge just a little bit. I want to tighten up this hip crease, working on the ankle mobility, knee, hip, and then nice long spine, thoracic extension. So nice tall position here, or nice long position, but I am going to be sitting into that hip as I move through that lateral lunge position or that cossack. Okay? Now with the squat portion, if you typically squat off of something that's like, this high, we want to try and increase our range of motion on these 5 paw squats. So I'm just going to find an object that's a little bit lower, and I'm going to do my 5 repetitions off of that, okay? So again, I can come down, I can touch and go, or I can full on, if I need to, I can put most of my weight onto that object and then stand up. Just like with the lateral lunge or the cossack, I want to make sure that I maintain ankle flexion, knee flexion, hip flexion, and a long spine. I don't want to be sitting up tall like so. I want to maintain this slight hinge position where I'm sitting into that hip crease when I'm in the bottom. Okay, so don't ever come up to that vertical torso position. All right, so 5 sets or 5 rounds of that with a minute rest in between. And again, if you need to, with the heat, whatever, cut it down to 3 rounds instead of 5. Whatever's going to work for you. Okay. So now we're going to go into a conditioning portion. This is going to be 10 minutes. And what you're going to do is you're going to do as many rounds as you can in 10 minutes. There's 3 movements that we're going to do. We're going to do lateral lunge jumps. You're going to do between 10 and 20. Then you're going to do air squats for speed, 10 to 20. And then we're going to do some calf raises, 10 to 20. So whatever number you decide to do. So say you decide to do, 15 lateral lunge jumps. Then I want you to do 15 squats, and I want you to do 15 calf raises. If you decide to do 20, then you're doing 20 all the way around, 10, then you're doing 10 all the way around. Oh, sorry, sweat in the eye. Again, just to make it easy so that the numbers are all the same and you don't got to think about it too much. So on our lateral lunge jumps, I want you to stay nice and low. So we're not ever going to come up. We're going to stay nice and low, and I want you to move as far as you can to the left and to the right. So I'll start here, stand on my left leg. My right is going to sweep in behind, and then I'm going to just project myself over as far. 2, 3, 4, staying low. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so say I chose to do 10, I did my 10, then I'm going to do 10 squats, nice and fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Then I'm going to get on a little step. I'm going to do calf raises. I want to make sure that I get as much stretch as I can, dropping my heels down and then coming up as high as I can. On the balls of your feet. Cool. And then you're just going to keep ripping for 10 minutes. Again, make it 7 minutes, make it 5 minutes if the heat's too much for you. One little caveat is that you're doing your 10 minutes, right? And you start whatever round at 9 minutes. You're not going to be able to do all those repetitions in 1 minute. So I want you to finish that final round. So it may end up taking it to like 10:15 or 10:30 or something like that, so that you can, get that full round in. So there you go, leg workout for the day. You're gonna start out, you're gonna do, let's say 3 to 5 rounds of the combination lateral lunge or cossack squats. Pauses, 3 to the left, 3 to the right. Then you're gonna do 5 pause squats. Rest a minute in between, 3 to 5 rounds. Then 5, 7, or 10 minutes of that lateral lunge jump, air squat for speed, and then calf raises. You can do anywhere from 10 to 20 of each of those movements. All right, man, let's go. Get after it, have fun. I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, technology.